Hello. Yo. So, Joe Soy. Joe Soy. Hey, y'all don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Obviously, that yo, so that sound like Joe Soy to me, like Yosoy. That's what I'm thinking of, but I had I had an 11th grade and a 12th grade Spanish teacher. I say and 12th grade because I ended up failing that class, and her English was so damn broken. And we taught that lady a whole new asshole. She was Puerto Rican, so her asshole was already bare and rare. So we taught that lady a whole new one, man. Just talking about her speech, her broken English, and she says, she used to be Joe Soy. That's how she used to say Joe Soy, and she called me Cow Jewel. I'm like, who the fuck is that? I don't know who the hell Kajul is, but shout out to Miss Feliciano. Really sweet lady. We was wrong as hell for treating her like that. But anyway, it's quarterback trials, episode 3, Lamar Jackson versus everybody. Do you know how excited I am to talk about this, man? Like, I might throw a few jits out there, you feel me? Just because, as we speak about these quarterbacks, obviously when I'm talking about them, I actually do have an affinity for them. I love them. Like put myself in their shoes, and eventually they'll be in my shoes. Not playing anymore, uh, learning life outside of the game of sports, and then just competition in general. But Lamar damn Jackson, though. Lamar damn Jackson. So we want to shout out to StreamYard. Shout out to YouTube. We got IG rolling right now. I want to say shout out to my wife for making sure that I can do this while the baby's here. Someone might do a cameo, who knows? But shout out to her. Shout out to my kids and everything. So we're gonna get right into it. You know how we end up starting off. Like I said, I'm using ChatGPT for my intro monologue, a little backstory, try to give some formal context in what we're talking about, and then I'll go into my own opinion, my own thoughts, perspectives, and experience with this. So, like I said, if you're not using them, you don't have the funds or the resources to employ someone, go ahead and use all these AI tools that's available now and fact check, revise, and make it your own. But I didn't do much here except type in what I needed, and there we go. So Lamar Jackson, becoming who you knew you were all along. That's the title. Becoming who you knew who you were all along. So in the fields of Pompano Beach, Florida, a young boy carried a dream in a football. It wasn't just a wish to play football, it was a conviction that he was destined to be a quarterback. Despite his undeniable talent, Lamar heard the critics loud and clear. You're not a quarterback, they said. Your future lies elsewhere, they said. Receiver, running back, DB, maybe even special teams, they said. But Lamar wasn't interested in what the world thought he wasn't. He was determined to show the world who he knew he was all along. I said I might throw a couple of jits out here. The AI told me say the Florida grit, but the Florida grit that this jit had, you know, is not all the jits in Florida have. They known for producing some of the most electrifying athletes in the sport, from Dion, like we mentioned before, Emmitt Smith, uh, the Sunshine State Stars. Uh, Often light up the field with speed, agility, and charisma, but Lamar Jackson's path to greatness wasn't lined with accolades or certainty. It was built on relentless determination and a belief in staying true to himself. So even as a dual sport athlete, we like to highlight the dual sport athletes. He excelled in track and field during high school. Lamar knew football was his calling. Yeah, his dynamic play as a quarterback at Boynton Beach High School turned heads, but not all the attention was positive. Many college recruiters overlooked his arm strength and leadership, focusing instead on his athleticism as a potential asset for positions other than quarterback. Now, he always practiced going where he was wanted. So instead of succumbing to these pressures, Lamar sought out a program that saw him for who he was, a quarterback. That program was the University of Louisville, led by Bobby Petrino. And Bobby Petrino, Coach Petrino, he didn't ask Lamar to change. He just simply asked him to play. And the result, one of the most electrifying college football careers in history. We witnessed greatness. Now, in 2016, Lamar became the youngest player ever to win the Heisman Trophy. He didn't just win it, he left no doubt, dazzling fans with his dual threat capabilities, his ability to both run and throw at an elite level, silenced critics who had doubted his potential as a pure quarterback. And we spoke on an elite college play, but as a quarterback in the NFL, Lamar continued to remain elite. The skepticism followed, though. Lamar, all the way into the NFL draft, analysts again suggested he switch positions, but Lamar refused to waver. I'm a quarterback, he told every team. And when the Baltimore Ravens called his name as a 32nd overall pick in the 2018 draft, they weren't drafting an athlete. They were drafting a leader, a signal caller, and ultimately an MVP. Now, Lamar's NFL journey has been nothing short of extraordinary. Just a year after him entering into the league in 2019, he became the youngest quarterback ever to win the MVP, setting records as both a passer and a rusher. His success isn't just about statistics. It's a testament to his consistency, his adaptability, and refusal to conform to roles that didn't align with his identity. What you're not does define who you are. Lamar's story parallels those of other great athletes who defied conventional wisdom. Consider Michael Jordan, who was famously cut from his high school varsity basketball team, or one of my favorite athletes, the GOAT, Serena Williams, who overcame criticism and doubt to dominate tennis for decades. Both athletes, like Lamar, chose to focus on what they knew they could become rather than what others said they couldn't. But Lamar's story is unique in that it's not just about proving people wrong. It's about finding the right places and people who believed in his vision. He didn't change who he was just to fit someone else's mold. He changed the game by staying true to himself. Lamar's legacy will be one of authenticity. Lamar Jackson's impact goes beyond football. His unwavering belief in his identity as a quarterback serves as a powerful lesson in authenticity. His humility, accountability, and dedication to his craft have inspired countless young athletes to believe in themselves, even when the world tells them otherwise. Lamar's journey only underscores the importance of community, whether it was his family, his high school coaches, or the Ravens organization. The people who believed in him helped him rise above doubt. And his story isn't just his own, it's a collective victory for everyone who stood by his side. And we always like to end this last message with a call to action. This is to L. Jack, and this is to us. This is the community. This is all the quarterbacks. This is the entire community that has a sense of urgency and wanting to do something about it. So this call to action is go where you are wanted. So to Lamar Jackson and his supporters like us, here's a challenge. Make your legacy about more than just football. Create spaces where young athletes can discover who they are and thrive in environments that celebrate their unique potential. Imagine mentorship programs, camps, or community initiatives that teach kids the importance of going where they're wanted and not where they're forced to change who they are, or even just forced to be there and be just tolerated. Lamar's journey proves that success isn't about fitting into someone else's mold. It's about carving your own path. Let this story inspire us all to stay true to our identities and seek places where we're valued for who we are, not judged for what we lack. The next generation is watching, Lamar. Let's show them that authenticity is the greatest superpower of all. Shout out to my Noah Thought. Shout out to my employee that helped out on that. Good old chat. I call him Stedman. Stedman. Who knows what he had? Is he there? Is he not there? Did I use it? Did I tell you? I disclosed that I did use it here for that. But yeah, man. Yeah, man. So as we get ready for these conversations about the quarterback trials, you start to see a theme. First guy, Jameis Winston, we talked about his superpower. And then also being himself, being unique to himself, being true, being a model citizen. As of late, he's been media darling. Household name, he's a darn backup. Russell Wilson, Same thing. We talked about how him staying true to himself and being that professional, and then also keeping his life private and not pretty much just always having a positive attitude, just being authentic to who he is. It leads us into this great 8 era 8. I'm so excited. I think it's a feeling of being grateful that the greats that have came before us have paved the way. I mean, they paved the way and taught us how to play football. They taught us how to play quarterback. And then, some of them jazzed it up and did their own thing. And as that became a thing, like jazzing it up and playing off script and doing their own thing, as that became a thing, it became labeled and identified. And then some would say it was an added on bonus that this quarterback can move around, that this quarterback can improvise, that this quarterback can extend the play or even score with his legs, for that matter. It has to be accounted for in the run game, in a sense, game planning week before. Like I said, we show homage to the ones before us, the greats, running down the list, Steve Young, Archie Manning, Archie Manning Senior. I don't think Arch. I think his name is just Arch, but Archie Manning Senior, Steve Young, Randall Cunningham. You got Donovan McNabb. You got Michael Vick. You got hell. It's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. Those that end. We'll get to the new age runners before we got to see L. Jack. Before we got to see. It's like I'm trying to stop myself from saying it too early. Like it's like I'm trying to wait to bring the cake out with the candle to y'all, but like I can't. He's the greatest ever. He's the greatest ever. I know. Super Bowls, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. I know. I get it. That's why I didn't want to bring it up too much or too soon. But yet, for me, he's teetering me just saying that out with all full confidence. Kind of like when LeBron actually took the Cavs to the Super Bowl. That's how I'm feeling. Like it's not even him winning the Super Bowl. He will get back. He will get back. But if anybody knows, Peyton Manning is my favorite quarterback of all because of the way that he played the game, not the Super Bowls. It's him being a quarterback and a model on which we would want to mimic and, mirror all the actions that he's doing, the preparation on the field, off the field, before the snap, during the snap, head movements, everything. We model our game around Peyton Manning. And then, as of Tom Brady's ending of his career, we started to realize how he played the game, and he just took what they gave him. And not trying to say he didn't throw long balls and everything, but that's a mindset in saying, I'm going to get down this field regardless of what the defense gives me. I'm going to have an outlet to make sure we're getting down the field so we can give an opportunity to win the game. That's those are things that you want to take from, even with your own skill set. Lamar Jackson plays like none of these guys. Not even the ones that I spoke on with the running capabilities. These are all my opinions. This is all my experience and playing the game, watching the game, and just being around athletes. To hell with me knowing football, but being around athletes. I didn't do that deep of homework, but I definitely did my homework just for Lamar. But this thought just came to me now, but because I had the same thought. When you watch this young man run the ball, he's the greatest runner of the football we've ever seen. Period, point blank. From running back, receiver, fullback, tight end, quarterback. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about quarterback trials. He's the greatest runner of the football as a quarterback, greatest runner of football we've ever seen. He knows how to torque his body. He knows physics. He knows anatomy. He knows kinesiology. He knows hips. He knows eyes. He knows shoulders. He knows feet while he's running the ball. He understands the lanes that are there just off of body movements from the defenders, to where all them guys I mentioned, they got shift in this. They've given us great highlights, unlimited highlights, but no one has ran the football like Lamar Jackson ever. It's a full head of steam. It's focused energy on whatever you do is because I'm telling you to do it. He has been making little kids look crazy, like they don't belong on the field with him since he's been a little kid himself. And you watch him in the NFL right now, and he's still making grown men look like little kids running the ball. So if you're the best, to me, he's the greatest runner of the football I've ever seen. And I'm just talking about just vision, pure fluidity through the first, second level, third level, manipulating defenders. Greatest runner I've ever seen with the football. Now, throwing the football is like magic to me. To say that I want this ball in my hand to go where someone else is supposed to be, not where it's stationary, not to a basketball goal that hasn't moved in the entire existence of basketball. They hadn't moved the basketball goal side to side and made it harder for nobody. Steph Curry, the greatest shooter for all time. Everybody just needs the damn basketball goal stay in one spot. But for Lamar Jackson been matriculating through the football field from little league all the way up to middle school, high school, and college, throwing the football, throwing to guys that's moving, throwing it in lanes, throwing it in windows, throwing it deep, throwing it short, extending plays with his legs, still looking downfield. And everyone doubted that he can do this at a higher level. It's almost like when people tell you the eyes are the windows to the soul. When you tell somebody what they're not based off what you can see, you're telling someone what they're not or what you think that they're not. Why aren't you adding value to that person? Why aren't you supporting that person and adding value to it? Versus, no, I think suggestions are okay, but when someone is pure in their identity and has proven themselves, they've proven themselves on every level. And you got the nerve to tell them that they should change positions? No. So throwing that football is a reason why receivers play receiver. It's a reason why running backs play running back. It's a reason why centers and guards and tackles play their positions, and opposite side of the field too. Cornerbacks, safeties, linebackers, they play those positions because they don't have the arm that it takes to be a quarterback, nor do they have the capacity mentally for what it takes to be a quarterback. They wanted to. They might have did it little league. But if you're not coachable, if you're not cerebral, if you don't have vision or foresight, then you're not going to be in a running for quarterback. We're gonna put you on the D line. We're gonna put you in running back. Put you at receiver. If you play quarterback, there's a good chance that you can play positions on the football field if you're a quarterback. For instance, they got you. They were saying you go to receiver. For instance, they see you go to special teams and be a return man. I know personally, I played free safety. Quarterbacks touch the ball every play, so they have to have good hands, whether in the gun or whether in up under the center. So, yeah, we can play those positions, but the mental, the arm, and just the the foresight, like the intuitiveness, the fluidity of thinking. You got to have that. And those other positions that these schools, teams, or coaches might have suggested of him is an insult, because literally what their soul is saying, since I've never seen anything like that, and I think you should be over here because your build looks like this, your speed is so fast, we can use this here. I don't really think your arm, let's just say your arm doesn't work good enough in the next level, so we're going to end up putting you over here. That's an insult. But that's okay, though, because all he decided to do was go where he was wanted. Back in Louisville, Kentucky, I met Lamar Jackson the year he won his Heisman Trophy. I was living out in lower Indiana. I think it's like Jeffersontown, Indiana. And I was working in Louisville, Kentucky. It's right over the bridge. From where we were living to get over the bridge from the home in probably 15 minutes. So we were in downtown Louisville by the KFC Yum Center. And obviously Louisville's campus is not too far from over the bridge. So me working in that area, I met Lamar Jackson at the damn Kroger, man. It looked like he was just might have got a refund check, and it was some guys know a needy fund check because it was around the holidays, and him and a couple of his teammates, he was coming in there bushing the checks down that they had just got from the athletic department the year he won the Heisman. Like, it was, I think they might have been about, they might have lost one game at that point. So like they was in the top 10 of the polls. So the only thing I told him, I say, bro, y'all keep winning, y'all gonna go to the championship. Just keep winning. And I say, bro, you already got the Heisman. We took a picture, flicked up, and got up out of there. But man, I understood at that moment his greatness just by his humbleness. You hear what I'm saying? This man was so humble. So humble, man. He hadn't stopped being as humble, that humble. I mean, every time we see him out on the media, anytime we see him out doing any media post game press conference, he's being respectful to all the women commentators. Miss Lisa, he tells them miss, he tells them thank you. He's humble, he's respectful, and to be honest, he knows who he is. He's been knowing who he is for a long time. And like I said, we're mostly involved in these conversations that we have about the quarterbacks on the positive side. You do your own research on the upbringing or any of the setbacks that might have, molded and shaped the young man that we speak on. But there were challenges that he went through growing up. There's a story that, that's been out there. I'm not going to speak it verbatim, but he's taken some losses, some pretty big losses when it comes to family, and that's been something that it traumatizes you as a young person going through, deaths to pretty important, like primary people in your life. But yet just to see him continue to go and grow and be as humble as he is, and not just a humble portion, his identity is sound. Like going through those traumas very young, and like I say, down there in Pompano Beach, man, it's tough to stay on that right track, on that straight and narrow. It's real tough. And we all know that it's him and his mom. His mom helps represent his legal team, help represents him when it comes to contracts or partnerships or whatever it may be. But that's pretty much the story, saying that's all he had, the one to keep him on his track, and obviously the other extended family members that help mom out and just pretty much help mold the young man into who he is, so that he knows that he has an identity, he has people that cares for him. And to me, I think that's the biggest story than anything. Even during the times of him representing himself, we heard the media, these former players, the commentators, analysts, they just talked about it. I'm not gonna say all talked about him in a bad way, but it was almost as if since he was black, since his talent supersedes his education that he went and got from the University of Louisville, then he's not capable of thinking for himself for his big contract that he was overdue for. The same thing that the colleges that told him, say, hey, you don't know what you know. You don't know that you're a quarterback. We know that you're a quarterback. Well, I do know who I am. I do know what I know. I'm going to go where I can be that quarterback. Same thing in his contract situation that he represented himself with the help of his legal team and his mom. In the media, obviously, like I said, we do these conversations because I don't want to hear that shit no more. Obviously, I'm ear to the streets. I'm still in tune to everything, but it's really skewed. The conversation is really skewed because, again, they talked about his talents, talked about the deficiency with his arm, but yet never brought up the fact that he's educated, that he knows himself, that he's always betted on himself, and he's always been right. To be the youngest Heisman Trophy winner after Johnny Manziel and all of that stuff, like that's kind of big shit as a black man. And I'm not gonna get into it, but I think that had a good bit to do with it, because had he been white, like a Christian McCaffrey or Andrew Luck, and it was, or even Josh Allen. Hell, Josh Allen went to South Dakota State, one of the North Dakota State, whatever team that was. But if any of them were to do it, oh yeah, he has a good education background. He went to these schools. He's, da 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 da. Good for him. He's proven himself on the team, on the field. He should get what he's worth. He shouldn't have to pay an agent that extra fee. Not too many commentators and media analysts or former athletes mention that. I'm gonna say all of them didn't mention it, but a lot of them didn't mention that. But yes, University of Louisville education is prominent, and for him to have won the Heisman as soon as he did, for him to win the MVP as soon as he did, win it again as soon as he did, why in the hell would he order an agent to come help negotiate something that he's never had an agent to negotiate for him as well? Like, you need to negotiate my identity. I damn sure don't need to negotiate what I've already put on the field. You know who you are. There's no negotiation. I mean, you be kind. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to be mean to someone just because they're thinking that you don't know who you are and they know who you are best. No, you don't be mean. No, you can educate them by your actions. You can have extended banter with them to ultimately what it comes into persuasion. But no, just be kind about it. Be kind, be humble. And if you're wrong, you're wrong. But for the most part, that young man and his team, and I say his mom, and then all the extended family and the people that are in his corner, they've done a great job to continue to sustain that foundation he's had for a long time. And again, going to Louisville, he chose that. He chose to go to Louisville. It's 2024. It's about to be draft season, getting ready for the draft. Combine's going to do a lot in the 2025 draft. Yet, L-Jack, pretty sure he would have ran 4.3. Had a great pro day. Didn't get in no trouble. Like, no scandals came up. You know, like how they tried my boy Jameis. You feel me? They tried my boy Jameis, and it's like, okay, still number one overall. Still number one overall. You feel me? They tried him, but he's still number one overall. But for Lamar Jackson, I mean, youngest Heisman ever, all the rushing yards, all the passing yards, passing rating, like as far as efficiency, yardage, and turning the ball over, highest we've ever seen. And then just in case, we'll give you an extra 1,500 yards rushing, an extra, dozen touchdowns on the ground or whatnot. Some never heard of stats. He chose to go to Louisville, where he was wanted to be a quarterback. You would think he chose to go 32nd overall to the Baltimore Ravens, where they wanted him as a quarterback. I wouldn't switch my life with any other person. I wouldn't switch my life with any other man. And obviously, empathy, sympathy, empathy, all of that goes around. To see that young man in that green suit sitting in that green room back there waiting for his name to be called with just him and his mom. And we love Lamar. Like, I'm in Louisville. Like, what in the hell? Why is he? What? Oh, whoa, no. I met this young man, this great young man, and what he does on the field. Like, no. But he went where he was wanted. All 31 teams, all of them, every last one of them, every last one of them 31 teams was thinking like all the other colleges that didn't want him to play quarterback. I don't give a damn how you bring him in for an interview. You try to get his measurables, hear what he talk about. He's a great athlete. Oh, yeah, he has some issues throwing the ball. All of that bullshit. 31 denials. He got rejected 31 times. He was the best player in college, best quarterback in college. He got denied and rejected 31 times. His damn dream was to make it to the NFL. But they didn't see it wasn't worth paying him first round money. How many times it takes for you to get rejected before you give up and start to question who the fuck you are? How many times you gonna get rejected straight to your damn face till you realize, well, I do anything right now just so I can get my name called. And then when your name get called, are you gonna be mean? Are you gonna have a bad attitude? Are you gonna feel like, oh, them other 31 teams missed out on me? They missed out on me, so I'm living to show them wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. We fuel from that too. Like, we fuel from that. I'm not sure if he's fueling from that right now, like from all them years, but I believe there's a damn. I know every time he lace up versus all them damn teams, in the back of his head, I'm about to light y'all ass up for skipping that on me. It made me wait 31 damn teams. I'm where I'm supposed to be now. Don't make no mistakes. So I said, we don't need to hold on those grudges and the forgiveness, but that's a lighter. It ain't even fuel. It's just a lighter. We keep that lighter every time we show up to the game day. We go on somebody else's house. Don't let them come in my house. Don't let them come in Flock Nation house. Don't let them come in here. Hey, y'all skip that on me. And you got the nerve to come in my house where they want me here. They made all this shit mine. All of this mine. L-Jack, Era 8. I ask you, how many times would it take for you to get rejected before you start changing who you are and start questioning your identity? That man has not. It's like I said, it's almost like he chose to go there, but bro, Jit Pose that went number 1 overall. He's proved it. Look at the draft. Look at the guys that went and where their MVPs at, where their winning percentage at, where their completion percentage at, where their yardage at, where their turnover ratio at, where the highest passer ratings at, where are the stats and the goals that they put on the white quarterbacks like a Peyton Manning or a Ben Roethlisberger or Drew Brees or Josh Allen or all. L-Jack is on top. He's right there in the great conversation. Patrick Mahomes too. I say he's right there at the top. Like I said, we're not talking about rings and we ain't talking negative at all, but let's talk about the Ravens organization, in which he, like I said, it's damn near like he chose it. But for the most part, they chose him. Could have chosen him earlier. Could have traded for him. Or I think they might have did trade him for him. Who knows? A trade from back in the day. But he goes to a place where he's wanted. And they're at the Ravens organization. They start hiring everything he needs. They start adding value to this young man who has been denied his whole life of his identity and who he knows who he is from the core. He's been denied from that, but as soon as he make it to his dream, an organization starts hiring and funding and building and creating things around him, adding value to him on and off the field. So, yeah, that can be something that's thought of as like, okay, you can't call him the greatest dual threat quarterback ever because Michael Vick. We're going to Michael Vick route. Then we go Cam, because I thought we talking about them. Those are the top 3 dual threat quarterbacks ever. Lamar's at 1, Cam's at 2, Michael Vick's at 3. And I'm only saying that because yes, Michael Vick would be at everybody else's one. Oh man, Michael Vick. Y'all, I'm in Atlanta, and I understand y'all love Michael Vick to death. And that damn it, Michael Vick arm ain't bullshitting. Michael Vick arm maybe want to be the strongest arms we've ever fucking seen. That's what I love Michael Vick for. I ain't saying he's not a prolific runner. I ain't saying, but as when he was playing, when I had his jersey, was for his arm. I hated seeing Michael Vick run because I'm a Peyton Manning darling. I love seeing pocket quarterback. That's the type of quarterback I played. Quick enough to move. I extend my plays. I know how to scramble. But for the most part, I'm getting the ball out of my unathletic, well, lesser athletic, lesser playmaking dynamic with the ball. I know how to get the ball to you. So you can do the playmaking and dynamic and be cat-like. So I hated seeing. I did not like seeing Michael Vick run the ball. At the time, I realized that did some good stuff. So I get it, but he's number 3. Now Cam Newton, he's number 2. Now, when I say number 2 with Cam Newton, man, I grew up Cam Newton. We're going to briefly do this because we're going to talk about Cam Newton at a later date. But just purely, I was talking about dual threat quarterbacks. I knew Cam as a pocket quarterback. I didn't know Cam as no runner. I love Cam's feet in the pocket in high school. Obviously, he's always been tall. You get some weight on him, and it's like shit. At this point, we're going to use the speed we always had too. It has nothing to do with you reading defenses. It's almost like let's build an offense and get another blocker in there so that we can win games. And that's what happened. That's what was done. But as far as being electric, L-Jack number 1, man. L-Jack is number 1. You build a system around Cam Newton because we seen Michael Vick and what he could do with his legs. And if it was just a system around Michael Vick would be 1. But since Michael Vick is the iPhone 1, and then you get all these quarterbacks in between that move a little bit, then you get to Cam Newton at iPhone 3G. Then you go and move on over to L-Jack, Lamar Jackson. Now you got iPhone 18. People don't understand. Shit's supposed to get better. I ain't saying Michael Vick ain't no great. I'm saying Lamar Jackson is the greatest dual threat quarterback that we've seen to date. I'm saying that right now because we're talking about dual threat quarterbacks, but I'm on the cusp of saying he's the greatest quarterback we've ever seen. When you look at the percentage numbers, the passing efficiency, the passer rating, the turnover ratio, his accolades off the field and on the field. And again, The completion percentage is going to tell it all. The completion percentage is going to tell it all. And this young man is always north of 70 to 75% completion percentage. And just add another 1,000-yard rushing season every season, or a little closer to 1,000-yard rushing. Come on, man. Don't act like we haven't gotten to a time where being a running quarterback is giving these offensive coordinators and these head coaches damn jobs. So being able to overcome all those denials and go and get to a team like the Ravens, and they cultivate him based off of the ones like the Vicks, like the Cam Newtons, and seeing those examples, and not saying it was mistakes, but let's add value to what we have and what we drafted. You see the success is followed. Now, we heard what you said, Lamar, and that's why we play. You ain't said nothing wrong, bro. You're going to get a Super Bowl out of me. But I'm telling you right now, bro, if you just make it, I'm stamping you as the greatest quarterback to ever play, to ever touch a football. Just like how I say LeBron James is the greatest to touch a basketball that I've seen. You make it to the Super Bowl, I'm screaming it. I'm screaming it. I don't care about Patrick Mahomes. No, I love Pat. I'm saying I don't care about the statement of me saying he's the best quarterback that's ever touched a football when somebody come and tell me, oh, Patrick Mahomes, hey, man, hey. Yes, Patrick Mahomes is great. But we're playing football. We're playing football here. We're not playing quarterback. We're playing football. So if we're playing football, that means whatever it takes, just like Travis Hunter. We ain't playing corner. We ain't playing receiver. We're playing football, guys. The same kids game we've been playing our whole life. If we had a football or a water bottle or old Gatorade bottle or a rock that wasn't too damn heavy, we playing football, guys. And I know any other player who played any other position and they played quarterback, they would be trying to run around the ball and throw the ball, run the ball, do anything they can just so they can help their team win, especially if they got that skill set and they've been doing it their whole life. So, yeah, man, you make it to the Super Bowl. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Might start printing shirts. But at the same time, dog, you don't have – I ain't telling you got to prove nothing because I know you already know you ain't got to prove shit. You don't have to prove nothing to me. You ain't got to prove nothing to nobody. No man, no woman, no nothing. Continue to be the kind, humble young man that you are. Continue to stand in your identity. Continue to grow within that identity. For real, for real. I watched your GQ. You just dropped. And beautiful, man. Beautiful. I think he said his foundation, he's doing, I'm not sure the foundation is Era 8, but I know he has an Era 8 apparel line. He's working that out. But as far as the foundation working, what he said is similar to what we spoke on earlier, man. So all these guys, they're already doing philanthropic work in the communities in which they come from, in which they work in, and then just, having connections to. So kudos, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm still going to ask more of you. Like I said, I just want you to continue to grow within your identity. Like I said, the game of football is going to continue to be there. There's a lot of attention, a lot of disturbance, a lot of overstimulation. I know you block out so much because of you being the organization quarterback, because you being shit. You got another 15 years in the league the way I mean, the way they see it. But for the most part, bro, keep growing, keep being you. I want to see you with some goals at Super Bowl. I want to see some goals in the Super Bowl, some real, I don't say real goal, but like some real valuable goals in Super Bowl. You feel me? After the Super Bowl, not during. Keep with the platinum or the white gold in your mouth, bro. I love it. Like I said, just keep growing, man. And as far as this community work that you're already doing that we're doing. Whomever is part of your team, connect with me. I'm willing to do whatever needs to be done, and also bring value to what your identity already is. And that's why we're speaking on today, man. I love you. Can't do no wrong over here. So I expect for you to continue to be who you are, bro. And go get that chip, man. Go get that chip. So I wanted to keep this one around the 45-minute mark. Like I said, Lamar, we love you. Go get them. You make it to the Super Bowl, bro. You're the greatest quarterback. Never touched the ball for me, dog. And that's just me being true, bro. We watch football. We play football. It's a kid's game, and you play football how it's supposed to be played, bro. So continue to be who you are, and we love your identity, man. Don't second guess yourself like I know you haven't. And we're rooting for you, brother. That's all I got today, guys. Like I say, Joe Soy. But hasta luego. Me, Barnaby, Wellington, Barneswell for short. Till next time. I don't know who we got next time. I don't know. I keep pushing Cam back. I ain't ready to talk about Cam Newton. He's a has-been. I ain't ready to talk about Cam Newton. But I keep bringing him up. But I think we might go Jalen. You want to go Jalen Hurts? You want to go Jalen Hurts next? Go Jalen Hurts. We got Kyler Murray on the way. Jalen Hurts. We got Kyler Murray. And trying to think of the older guys, the ones that's been in here. We got Patrick Mahomes too. Like I said, these dual sport athletes we talking about. So yeah, we got a nice pool. Who knows who's the next one's gonna be? But again, I'm Barnes. Be well, man.